Hello and welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are introducing Cheery Christmas and its coordinating dies. This set is a companion to last year's Toboggan Together. We thought it would be fun for these critters to have even more snow time activities to do. So let's go ahead and check it out. We of course have 2 deer in this set and 2 cute little squirrels. There's a great bird and then this wonderful Christmas tree that I absolutely love. We also have a little ladder that somebody can climb to decorate that Christmas tree. We have some mistletoe, a star for the top of the tree, and then little ornaments. So we have a little acorn for the squirrel's Christmas tree, and then fun little ornament styles. We also have them in solid too, so you could stamp them just directly on the tree in fun colors. We have a candy cane ornament, and then these little hanging strings, and you'll see how we use those later. Next, we have this great little acorn wrapped as a present, perfect for those squirrels, and then a bunch of presents too. A cute little Santa hat, a string of lights that can fit right in the deer's antlers, and a little solid star and heart that are really cute for putting on the tree too. And then this awesome heart bubble. This set has great sentiments that you can mix and match. So we have Hava and Mayor, and then Holiday and Christmas. And then we have Cheery and Bright all separate, so you can mix and match all of these to create whatever custom sentiment for your card. I love when the words are separate too, because then you can stamp them in lots of different colors. We have a little shine mark for the top of the tree, and of course an exclamation point to add to the ends of phrases. Now I'm going to be using my Copic markers to color in these fun images. So as you can see, I'm blending out that dark marker with the light marker towards the top of the deer's head. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing, so I'm going to lay down my light, take my dark there, and then blend that dark out, and you can see what a dynamic look you can get from just 2 markers. Next, I'll be working on their faces, and once again, I'm going to lay down my light marker to wet the paper so that it's just a little bit easier to blend. Then I can lay down my dark marker right along just the inside edge there of his face, and then blend that out with my lightest marker so that it's nice and light around his eyes. And then I'll repeat the same thing for this other cute little deer. I'm going to use some of the same browns on my squirrels here so they coordinate really well. And as you can see, once again, I'm laying down that dark marker all around the curves of the squirrel, kind of under his arms and around his leg, and blending that out, and you get this really awesome, cool 3-dimensional look on these squirrels. Next up, I'm going to color myself a little turquoise bluebird here, and then add a little yellow to my star and color in my fun ornaments. Next, I'm going to color my pile of presents, creating all of the shading around the ribbon on the present. I think it looks really cool. It really makes the package look kind of 3-dimensional that way. So I can blend all of those markers out and then go ahead and color in this cute little acorn, which I think it's so sweet for the squirrels to give each other this cute acorn present. I'm going to use a white gel pen on the little dots of the deer to really make them pop. And then I can use my coordinating dies, either bending them apart at the tabs or separating them with my wire snips. I'll line them up with my stamped image and then run them through my die cut machine, and I will have some awesome cut images here that I just love, and I love how many images there are in this set. So here, one of my favorite parts of this set is that those lights tangle right onto his antlers, which is so cute. The little Santa hat on the deer is adorable, and then you can use all these different ornaments to decorate your tree. The bird can hold the mistletoe, and then you can use those little dotted lines there to hang from the deer's antlers so that you hang ornaments from his antlers, and it's just the cutest thing. So now I'll take some ornaments there and line those up, and I think that's such a cute and simple card that would make anyone's day during the holidays. Next up, I'm going to work on a card, so I'm going to stamp out my tree in some Noble Fir ink and then my ladder in some walnut ink, and I will die cut those and all of the extra ornaments that I colored too. And then here I have all my pieces to start working on my card. So I'm using my stitched rectangles here. I've cut some mermaid and white cardstock. And here I'm using snowy backdrops, which I just love. It's really pretty and it's got these little stars in it, and I thought it would be nice for this background. And I'm stamping it in some Yeti ink. Now I'm going to stamp the May Your Christmas Be in jalapeno ink, and then the Cheery in lobster ink. And I love mixing and matching the colors for the sentiments. Next up, I'm going to be using my stitched hillside borders to create a fun snow scene, and I love having my sentiment kind of be in the snow. So here I have one hill, and now I'm going to line it up on another stitched rectangle so I can line up my second hillside die and run that through my die cut machine too. I'm going to layer this on my mermaid panel using some foam tape. That way I'll have nice, cool dimension for this card. And then I can start creating my whole scene. So I'm adding foam dots on everything. And the first thing I'm going to put right in the center is my Christmas tree. Then I'm going to layer my elements together. So the squirrel and the bird, they're right on top of each other. And I love how cute they stack so that the bird can put the star on the tree, which is just so sweet. So then I'll add the star there with some foam tape. Then I can add my ladder, and my other squirrel is going to hang at the top of the ladder so he can help decorate the tree also. I'm going to add a ton of ornaments to the tree in red and green. And then I can add that cute little present pile to the bottom of the tree too. It's really a nice finishing touch. Then I'm going to use my largest stitched rectangle, 5.5 by 4.25, to cut some perfectly plaid Christmas paper. And then I'm going to add it to a card base here, and it's going to be the perfect backdrop for my red and green tree. I'm going to take my whole panel and put a bunch of foam tape on it and layer that right on top. And I just love those little animals stacked on top of each other. It is just the cutest thing ever. Now next up, I wanted to create a card that would be easier to reproduce. So here I'm using some of my dotted rectangles here, and I'm going to be cutting some more perfectly plaid Christmas paper. I'm going to have the red, the teal, and then some white cardstock also. Next, I'm stamping Be Jolly from Winter Big Scripty Words in lobster ink. I'm going to line up that die, and I love how this looks when the die cuts it out. Next, I'll be creating this fun little mini card base, and now I can quickly layer all of my pieces together. So I've got my red base, and then my teal base with some foam tape. I can layer my little snowy hill that I cut with a simple stitch hillside border. And then I'm going to take my lights and tangle them in the deer's antlers, which oh, it's so cute. And then add a bunch of foam tape here to the back of my Be Jolly and layer that into my snow. Next, I'll add some foam dots on my deer, and this is a super quick and easy card that is so sweet. I just think anybody would love it, and you could totally make a ton of these too. Earlier I was talking about how Cheery Christmas is a companion set to Toboggan Together. Toboggan Together is one of my favorite sets ever, so we thought that this year we just had to create another set to go along with it. So now all of these critters can do even more fun wintertime activities like decorating a tree or maybe kissing under the mistletoe. So here I've stamped out and die cut a bunch of images from both Toboggan Together and Cheery Christmas. And first up, I'm going to add a little tape runner to the back of the antlers here from the deer from Cheery Christmas, and then line up these fun little Christmas lights in his antlers. And then I can stack my little critters together again, my squirrel, my bird, and my deer, and have the bird hold the mistletoe. Now next up, I'm going to be creating a pop-up card with this. So this is my little pop-up cheat guide. I've cut my 7 different pop-ups here out of this one big piece of cardstock, so I can decide what exact depth and height that I want for my pop-ups. And this is so much fun to have this kind of little cheat sheet to help you make a decision. And then once I've decided, I take out my dies and kind of line them up with the right sizes so I know which ones to put where. Another thing I can do is take these pop-ups and flip them over so that I'll have some height too, because I need some height behind this big deer and present one. So you'll see how that will work in a second. Now here I have a standard size card base, and I'm going to draw a pencil line right at 4 1/4 right there, and that's going to be my guideline for all of my pop-ups. Now I'm going to start laying out my scene so I can decide where these pop-ups need to go. Then I'll just move that stamped image out of the way and line that pop-up with that line. So you'll see those little arrows on either side. That tells you where to line the pop-up with your score line, or right now what is our pencil line. Then I'm going to take that other die and line it up, and we're going to run both of them through the die cut machine. Now for that last pop-up, we're going to use that same die that we used earlier, but we're going to flip it over so that the score line is at the top. This is going to make it tall instead of deep. So you'll see there, I'm going to line up those little lines there, the little triangles with my pencil line. I'm going to hold that in place with some low tack tape, run that through my die cut machine, and now you can see that the die has cut in the other direction. So here you'll see I lined it up that way. Now I'm going to flip it and line it up that way, and I'm going to get 2 looks from one die. Now I'm going to score around the pop-ups but not through the pop-ups, right along my pencil line. So I'm going to score right up to it and then around it and then right on the other side of that other pop-up. Then I can use my eraser to erase my pencil line, and I'm ready to start creating my background now for this card. So I am going to be using the leafy tree backdrop and then the new stitch tree borders also. And so I'm just kind of using this as a guide so I know how tall I want my border trees to go. Then I can hold that in place with some tape and run it through my die cut machine, and now I've got this great little snowy hill with some winter trees for my pop-up scene. Now I'm going to start coaxing all of these different pop-ups through. So I'm going to make sure to fold along the score line that the die created and also fold my main score line of my card. And I'm just going to push those out just like that, bend it right at that line, and then I'm able to fold the whole thing down and crease it really, really well to give it a nice sharp edge. And then here I wanted to show you one more time how I was able to get two different looks from one die. So I placed the die this way for that one that's nice and deep, and then this way for that one that's nice and tall, but it's all from one die. Now here I have the snowy backdrops die and the leafy tree backdrops die, and they are the same size, so they're perfect together. So I'm going to layer those two together to create my awesome background for this card. Now first up here I have this awesome glitter paper which I thought would look beautiful with those stars shining through from the snowy backdrops die. So I'm going to line that up first. Then I can line up my mermaid cardstock piece and that glitter is going to show through. You'll see just how pretty that is. And then I can line up my cool leafy tree backdrop next. Now that all of those are together, I can work on my pop-up. So I need to create some white cardstock for the back of the pop-up. So I'm just going to trace a line there, trim that piece down, and then I can lay it behind the pop-up so there's just white behind it. We're not going to see any of that mermaid cardstock behind it. So you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that piece and line it up right there, and now when I take the whole pop-up and line it up, it'll be nice and white behind the whole thing. It'll all look like one blanket of snow. Now I'm adding a ton of tape to everywhere but where the pop-ups are, and then I can line that right into the fold line of my card, and you'll see how awesome that looks. Now I'm adding some tape runner to all of the pop-ups, and now I can start creating my scene. So I'm going to line up my little tower of critters there, and then my other deer there. Now I can take the big tall one, so I'll have that nice tall pop-up to support the whole deer there. And I'm going to add one more Santa hat from Toboggan Together because I thought it would just look really cute on that deer. And then I'm going to take that cute little heart bubble from Cheery Christmas and just line that right up on the deer that's underneath the mistletoe. Here I have some perfectly plaid Christmas paper. I'm going to layer this onto the front of the card, and we're going to make the front of the card nice and simple since the inside is the star of the show. So I have a dotted circle here and a scallop circle, and we're going to take that same deer that's on the inside and put him on the outside. So it gives the recipient a little idea of what's going to be coming when they open the card. So I'm going to layer that all together, and then now I can stamp a sentiment on the inside of my card. So I'm going to stamp "Have a Cheery and Bright Christmas," and then use the little heart and stars to stamp around it for just a really cute and whimsical look that I think goes really well with this awesome scene. And then here you can see how cool that all those dimensions of pop-ups are. So here's the front of the card, and then the recipient opens it and it's like, wow, oh my gosh, there's 3 different depths for all the deer. It looks so cool, it's so fun, and that shiny silver paper behind the stars looks awesome. So this is Cheery Christmas. I love this set so much. My favorite thing about it is these stacked critters to either decorate the tree or to hold the mistletoe for the 2 deer. It's just so cute. You can make awesome pop-ups, simple repeatable cards, or cool scenes with it, and I cannot wait to see what you guys do. So thank you so much for watching today, and have an absolutely amazing and cheery day. Bye!